Welcome back to Instables, everyone. So again, going over my daily plan on exactly how I plan on playing into the S&P. I typically go over the SPY. I'm going to go over the SPX today. As you guys can see, again, we got an engulfing candle very similar to the SPY, just above our channel and just bouncing off of our 20-day moving average, looking to see if we can continue. We have been continuing. I'm going to go over exactly what we're looking for leading into Wednesday's Fed rate hike with Powell speaking. Now, before I jump into this, you guys can do me a huge favor, smash that like button if you find this video useful at all. Hit subscribe if you want to see my daily plan on exactly how I plan on playing into the market every single day. We go over candle structure, overall strength levels, and any key indicators that we need to be focused on. And again, if you are a day trader or you are looking for very volatile breakouts that we mention every single day in the Instables, and again, we mention any breakout that is worth looking at throughout the day, go to instables.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout alert today again. So jumping into the daily chart with you guys here on the SPX, as you guys can see, again, we have been tracking our channel since August. We have been continuously following this channel. As you guys can see, we did have our false breakout with CPI. We had our false breakout here with jobs reports. We had a pullback, and then we had a large momentum candle here showing us a lot of strength, looking to see if we can hold this strength above the upper end of our channel. As you guys can see, we did have this gap up, mentioned that we need a retest and confirmation on that strength. As you guys can see, we did get confirmation on that strength. We had our engulfing candle that did give us strength, and then we did continue on higher, now getting another engulfing candle on a continuation here, looking to see if we do continue on with this strength. Again, we do have our 20 still below our 50, looking to see if we do cross our 20 above our 50, looking to see if we can bounce off of our 20 with that strength. For example, if we do continue on higher and we do have a slight pullback, and then we possibly look to see if we can bounce off of our 20 leading into Wednesday's Fed rate hike, very much could be the possibility of what we're looking for that break. Or again, if Jerome Powell mentions that we do not have a Fed pivot coming and mentions that we're even going to possibly increase rate hikes going into next rate hike up to 100-point basis, which in my opinion, leading into midterms, not exactly the most likely thing to happen. I think the worst thing that can happen, which the market kind of is anticipating, is that we would have a 75-point base rate hike at the very worst. So going into Wednesday, what we want Powell to mention is that we have a possibility of having a 50-point base rate hike leading into our next Fed rate hike, which is again what Rick Timmerose mentioned on this gap up that we had. Again, Rick Timmerose giving us this engulfing candle and continuing on higher, because we are anticipating that Powell will pivot leading into midterms. So we'll see exactly what happens. Now, looking at our overall strength, as you guys can see on the MACD, again, we have our EMA lines that are finally pointing above the median of our MACD. Again, mentioning that we are having a ton of strength at this point since we are pointing up. We mentioned that, again, we have higher lows upon higher highs and getting that strength here. And as you guys can see, continuing on with that strength and continuously pointing up here. Now looking to see if we can continue on above the median of our MACD, or if we are going to get some type of rejection with Jerome Powell speaking. Again, very much going to predicate on exactly what he mentions. But as far as at this moment, again, testing our 3,900 level here on the SPX as we have an increase in buy pressure after getting a white shaded line. Looking to see if we continue on with this increase in buy pressure, getting more solid green bars here to continue on higher will be very key. And again, leading into this Wednesday's Fed rate hike, we will anticipate Powell mentioning a possible Fed pivot or possibly rejecting that Fed pivot. So again, just keeping in mind that we can get a white shaded line coming in possibly if Powell does mention that. And if he mentions a possible 100-point base rate hike leading into our next Fed rate hike, then these white shaded lines could continue on lower into sell pressure, possibly on a panic from Powell, in my opinion, if he did go at a 100-point basis. So again, the market very much anticipating that Powell will listen to Rick Timmerose. We'll see exactly what happens. Now, as far as if we do have room to run to the upside, I wanted to go over our relative strength here. As you guys can see, again, we did jump into oversold territory, got divergence here, mentioned that we would justify this as our bottom if we did continue on with strength. And as you guys can see, sure enough, continuing on with strength, increasing in buy pressure, breaking above our previous buy pressure point here, giving us that strength and momentum, and our EMA lines crossing now above the median MACD, giving us a ton of strength. And as you guys can see, as we are pointing up, looking to see if we can now jump into overbought territory. Again, we did mention that we were breaking above the median of our RSI here on Sunday, and we were looking to see if we can now jump into overbought territory. So that is where we are headed at this point in time. We are pointing up, looking to see if we do jump into overbought territory. Now, looking at our levels here, as you guys can see, we are testing a very key level that we did bounce off of a couple times here before we did have a continuation on lower. As you guys can see, got a slight engulfing candle here, but not exactly the most significant engulfing candle because we were not testing key levels at that point. So as you guys can see, we did get that rejection, continued on lower, and as you guys can see, we are now testing that exact level here at 3,900. Now, if we did continue on higher, higher, we do have the upper end of our channel that we have been tracking overall. So if we do continue on higher, we could expect some type of rejection leading into 4,100 in my opinion. Just under 4,100 would be the lower end of our channel here. So again, just keeping in mind that if we do continue on past 3,900, we continue on with our 20 crossing above our 50, then we could get that rejection at 4,100 and look for that retest, just like we did here on the upper end of our channel, looking to see if we can get that retest and get more confirmation with our candle structure. Now, jumping into our volume, I typically don't go over our volume as much as I do go over our buy pressure, because that represents volume better in my opinion, and also represents strength more with our EMA lines. However, as you guys can see, we are not getting a significant amount of volume that has been increasing. We do have a lot of buy volume. However, we don't have a significant amount compared to our last month's amount of volume. So again, we are very much still within consolidation, looking for that possible confirmation with Powell or that possible pullback to our fifth wave here. So again, we have our 4 Elliott waves. If we do have a pullback, we happen to drop into lower lows, any major news happens, again, getting that possible 100 point base rate hike will be our fifth wave if we do continue on lower. So again, just keeping that in mind, staying open-minded, but again, at this point, increasing with strength with our EMA lines above the median MACD as we have been looking for. So again, a lot of strength here. Now, again, with that said, if you are a day trader or you are looking for very volatile breakouts, we mention them every single day in the Instabills room. Any breakout that is worth looking at throughout the day, go to instabills.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout alert today again. And all of you Instabills that come over every single day and support the channel, I hope you guys are having a blessed weekend. We're going to continue to go at it. Stay patient, take what the market gives us. I don't know if I've said that enough times, but that is seriously like the mindset you want to be thinking about when you are going into the market. You want to let the plays come to you, let the candle structure and strength come to you, as we continue to do in the Instabills room, and we will continue to go at it. And again, if you guys do like this video, it does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video.